Hello, Bob here for the Old Iron Lover channel, and welcome to my shop. And this is the third in a three-part series about making this rigid compound replacement here. And I think it turned out fairly well, did what I wanted to do. And without further ado, let's get on with it. Next, we're going to fit the plate, this big block here that we made to here, and I've already kind of test fitted it. It does slide right in without a lot of play. I mean, I can't really, I could maybe move it slightly, but anyway, I wanted to run a tap down and clean out these holes, and we're going to drill this with and counterbore it for a couple of socket head cap screws to go down in there. And while we're doing that, I'll line it up against the chuck with this bar in one of these slots so it comes out fairly. So these are fairly well straight across from each other. Okay, these screws are going to be good. They're going to bottom out. I may take just a little bit off the end of the screw, but they should bottom out just as we bring them flush with this. So I think we're good. Yeah, I think I'm going to just take the sander and just knock a little bit off the end of these. So, now our next order of business is to figure out how to mark the holes. How to make sure I get these transferred to the pieces, kind of the holes drilled in them. Well, we're going to use, you've probably seen these before. I think Mr. Pete did a video on them. These are transfer screws. They come inside the little handle here. And the other end is a wrench. And I'll bring these up so you can see them real close here. But you can see there's a little point on them right there. So what we do is we screw these into the hole. And we get the tip just sticking out of the hole. Okay, the tips are just sticking out of the hole. So now what we want to do is grab a couple of little parallels. I'll set them down here. We'll slide this into place. Here. I don't know if I have. Yeah, it'll be okay. I'm lining them up on the face of this adapter here. Just like that. Okay, and that's aligned. I'll slide these out. Like that. And now I want to make sure I get a good impression, so if you'll pardon. Good hammer for that purpose is a nice lead one. This is set right where we want it over those two pins. Now we're just going to smack it with the hammer. And that should not leave a mark, and it did not. Let's pull it up and see, and I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, there we go. I think you can see it. Yeah, got those two little dimples in there. That'll give us something to line up with over here on the mill when we're drilling and tapping all we're drilling these. So get set up on the mill and come right back. Those transfer screws are something I just don't use very often, but when I do use them, they're really handy. Let's see, let's make sure we're not trying to drill a hole in the vise. I'm just going to leave this hang off of there, about like that. Normally I would drill these holes like a 64th over a ½ inch, but in this case I want them to be a pretty snug fit because they're going to help keep this thing positioned and squared up. So I'm going to go ahead and drill them. Then we'll flip it over and we'll counterbore them to recess the head of the screw. Okay, I think I got all my paraphernalia I need up here. Got the counterbore tool, ½ inch bit, pilot bit, drill chuck, cap screw. So let's Okay, and when we'll set up the counterbore, I measured the pilot on the counterbore. This pilot turns out to be a 32nd of an inch oversize. And I don't need to drill any further. I'm going to guess this is my 1/32 oversize of ½ inch. And it doesn't need to be deep. I need the depth of the pilot plus the depth of the screw, so the screw head. So we're looking at 3/4 of an inch or so. I set my DRO up. I already had this thing lined up until I realized that problem. So yeah, about 3/4 of an inch. We're lined up just fine on that. There's my test screw, and I want to be just exactly flush, or maybe just a hair above flush. got the adapter here mounted up, almost mounted up. See how we do with these screws. The screws fit very nicely. Now, the next thing is going to have to drill, well, I want to drill 2 holes in this thing. One of them is this alignment pin, and one of them is the 5/8. I'm going to get a flange bolt to go through here to bolt it down onto this solid. The trick there is order of operations. I need to measure approximately, you know, as close as I can, where I want that pin hole. I'll drill that first, and then I'm going to drill it slightly undersized, ream it slightly undersized, so I can put a pin in there that sticks. And then when I put the tool post down, I can, you know, it'll sit over that pin with a smooth fit. I'll line it up with the face of a chuck or something here, so the tool post is square, and then we will run a transfer punch down and mark the center of the mounting hole. Well, then we'll drill and tap this for that that center bolt for the tool post, and that should pretty much finish it. The only thing I'm worried about is I left these slightly up, slightly proud. I may have to go back and rethink that, because the tool post is going to sit in here somewhere, and I'd really like it to sit right in here somewhere, about like that. So I think I'm going to have to go back and redo these. So I'll do that off camera. I'm just going to line up on it and take just a little more off with the counterbore, so these are flush. I've got my location for my dowel pin spotted here, and now I'm going to drill. The pin's 1 inch long. The recess in the tool holder or tool post is 3/8 of an inch, so I got to go at least 5/8 of an inch down here. So I'm going to touch down here, zero my Z, and go 3/4 of an inch, or a little more. And then I'll come back with a reamer and bring it up to size, and then I'll press that pin in, because it needs to be a snug fit so it sticks with this piece. And then when I put the tool post on, it should slip onto be a sliding fit onto the pin. So anyway, all that jibber jabber said, we're going to get on with it. I'm just going to use the scale on here because it's not at all critical how deep I go, other than it has to be at least 5/8 of an inch for the pin to fit all the way in. Dowel pin size, it says. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's 3745, so it's 1/2,000 undersized. Okay, I have some little marks there on my reamer. When I just touch those marks on the surface of this, I should be right at 5/8. So I'm taking just a hair into that blue mark on there. Oh, that's good, right. That should be a press fit. It's kind of I'm ready to remount the hole here. We're lined up square. I will check one more thing. Nice and square there too. So the hole goes down 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to take it down until it's flat. Probably going to be a slick fit. Let's check the size of the pen. Okay, got a slightly oversized reamer now. Should fit smoothly. Nope. Okay, I've got one size bigger reamer. Alright, I've got this thing down over the pen, and the face of the tool post is trued up to the face of the chuck. So now I need to mark the hole I'm going to drill for the bolt that goes down the middle here. And since I don't have a 5/8 inch transfer punch, I've got this drill bushing here that's takes a smaller transfer punch. Drop that down in there. That down in there. Give it a good smack. We'll take it all back apart again. We should have our dimple in there. Okay, last operation is going to be to drill the hole here that we just punched, this dimple right here, for 5/8 11 flange head bolt. And I have the flange head bolt on the way. I'm going to drill it the tap size, 17/32, and the flange bolt is going to stick out from underneath the tool post about 3/4 of an inch. But I don't have a bottoming tap, so I'm going to go down an inch or a little over and make sure I have plenty of clearance. So anyway, start out by lining ourselves up. We got it. So now we're sitting around waiting for the bolt for the tool post to arrive, and then we'll give it a try. Let's try it out now and make sure it works okay. I had to recenter the height of my tool here. That's surprising. Let's take a little face cut on this. Make sure it's okay. you enjoyed that video. If not, well, I did. Anyway, we'll be off to more projects in the Shop Tune-Up series. I think we're going to move to the Bridgeport Mill next. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, subscribe. And we've got, as of today, which is the late January of 2020, we've got 2,300 subscribers. And I think about that in context of, you know, Adam Booth and those guys that have 250,000. That's a whole lot of subscribers and all that. And I get thinking about 2,300 is a lot of people. That would fill up a decent sized auditorium. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, if you want to leave a comment you think I'd like to hear, well, please do that too. Until the next video, happy trails.